This is a very user requested video. This is one that I have had submitted and asked by a bunch of you guys to talk about, so we are getting into it today, and that is why Garrett isn't uploading on GM Golf. Why Garrett has slowed down his upload schedule. Now, he posted a clip from a podcast, one of the Good Golf podcasts, basically addressing a form of why he's doing this, and that's what I think you guys want me to explain and discuss, and that's what we're going to do. So the video clip, I'll link it down below. I'm not going to play it, but it was essentially him sitting down with the guys, talking about his plans for GM Golf heading into 2023, and one of the big takeaways was that he wants to upload less. He kind of referenced to when all the Good drama broke, when everything was happening with Good, he sort of felt, and this is me kind of paraphrasing, but a bit of a protectionism towards Good, a bit of a need to work and put his efforts there to grow that brand. He believes that Good, and he said this in the clip, will be an everlasting brand, will be something that lives beyond and is very big and just keeps growing and doesn't stop. And that is obviously very true. It is the second biggest brand in golf, arguably the biggest, and it's definitely the one that has the highest growth rate at the moment. And so while all the negativity and drama and everything was going on, Garrett was feeling pulled back to really what was his baby, something he had built from the ground up and feels definitely probably responsible for. And I think he was feeling that, uploading 12 to 14 times a month on GM Golf was taking away effort and energy from Good. Now, this is something I feel like I can offer in a unique perspective to, because that is something that you can only really feel and understand if you are a content creator and a YouTuber. When you're creating content on YouTube, you have to put your all into it if you want it to perform the best. If you want to have the best possible videos, the best ideas, the best titles, the best thumbnails, the best viewer satisfaction, create the best content for your audience, which is ultimately all that matters, you have to put your all into it. Every bit of energy you put somewhere else, it does take away from your ability to perform on the platform and create really good, engaging content. It's very similar to how an athlete, if they're trying to maximize their performance in their sport, they need to take away everything else. They need to get a nutritionist, and they need to get a chef, and they need to get a this and that to minimize all of the effort they put out elsewhere so they can focus it solely on their main pursuit. And that really is the same with YouTube. And it sounds funny, but with how competitive a platform is, with how many people are making full-time livings on here now, that is what it takes if you want to succeed at the highest level. And Good is the absolute highest level. And he knows that. And he sees that, with all of the separation, with Grant and Michael leaving and the collaborations they were doing and the growth of the platform in general, I don't think at all it's like a, survival mindset, but it's just like, hey, this is my thing. It's a little bit tumultuous right now. I want to show people, I want to reassure people that this thing, Good is here to stay, that it's growing, that it's as strong as ever, and it's going to continue to be as strong going into the future. And that's where he wants to put his effort. The other interesting point he touched on here about why he wants to upload less, and really in his words, he wants to upload 3 to 4 times a month to GM Golf, which is still a good amount. It's on average, once a week, although he hasn't uploaded in 11 days on that channel at the time of recording. He talks about wanting to do that again so he can put more time and effort and focus into Good, but also, to me, what sounds like almost a little bit of like creator burnout type conversation. This is Garrett. If you're watching this, man, I want to have you on the channel. I think you are so interesting in your story and your growth on YouTube. People would love to hear, and that's what I'm interested in telling. Not so much about the drama side of things, but more just about your story. But this is something that as a YouTuber and as a content creator, you have this battle internally all the time where you want to create content, you want to create the best content possible, but over time, you do tend to kind of burn out. And a lot of the things he's saying in here are very identifiable burnout cues. He's saying that he wants to create less content on GM Golf. He wants to not worry about title thumbnails. He wants to just upload what he wants. He wants to just enjoy the content and not care about views. This is definitely a bit of a red flag for a creator burnout type situation. And that is something that you could hear almost every one of your favorite big YouTubers having said on camera at some point. The ones who are very true and honest with their audience, they go through this phase. I've been through it myself many times where you it's like almost like a hands in the air thing. And for him, it's definitely not from a lack of success. He is extremely successful, but I think potentially everything that was going on, this is where I'd love to hear from his perspective, because I'm just speculating here, but I would guess that everything that went on over the last few months was very exhausting, and trying to create content on top of that was very exhausting. And he definitely probably reached a point where he's like, I need to put all my effort into Good. If I'm creating videos on GM Golf, like, I can't handle anything else. And whether he, self-identified it as burnout or not, I'm very certain that's what it is. It's just too much. It's too much to handle, and this guy who has such a hand in that in good content and creating it and really driving the direction of it, also trying to do that on his own personal channel while trying to make the best videos possible there, it is too much. Managing 2 big channels by one person, it's too much for almost any creator to handle if they want to make the best content possible. So I think it's the mix of the two things. I think it's the fact that he really wants to drive Good as far forward as possible, but he also is probably feeling a little bit of burnout by trying trying to run these 2 channels with everything else that's going on. It's a very interesting thing, man. He's still so young. He's still such a new creator, which is so funny because obviously he's been on the platform for a while, but the dude's in his 20s, and everyone knows your 20s, you're figuring it out, and your 30s are for doing it. So this guy is setting himself up for the future, building up Good as big as it can be. He's going to have a long career on the platform if he chooses to, and I think this is just a natural evolution of a creator. So from your guys' perspective, if you're a core fan of his, he's still going to create content you're going to enjoy. It's probably not going to grow his channel and attract a wider audience if he's really saying he's not focusing on title thumbnails and all that kind of stuff, because that is what you need to grow a channel and attract an audience. You need people to click on the videos. But again, if you're a fan of his, if you're a fan of the GM golf content, there's going to be less, I'm sure, but I'm sure it's not going to be any less satisfactory to you guys, the core audience. So yeah, that's it. I wanted to cover it. I thought it was an interesting one. Hit that subscribe button, drop your comments down below. I'll see you in the next one.